10 phases to reorganize your energy and receive, the manifestation portal that women cannot ignore. Take a deep breath with me and imagine for a moment that everything you've been trying to manifest, money, love, healing, peace, opportunities, already exists as an energetic form in front of you. Nothing you desire is far away. Nothing you hope for is lost. It's all there, vibrating in the invisible field, just waiting for you to tune into the right frequency to receive it. Now tell me, why does it seem like it never arrives for you? Why do you make affirmations, prayers, visualizations, but your life remains stuck in the same place? Silas, what holds these women back isn't a lack of faith, it's a lack of receiving. And today I'm going to guide you precisely along that path. Before we continue, I want you to visualize, and really visualize, a future in which you have already received. Don't think, feel. Feel the relief entering your chest. Feel the anxiety melting from your shoulders. Feel the vibration of someone who no longer needs to chase after things, because they know that what they desire is already coming. See yourself entering an environment where everything flows, everything opens up, everything responds. Because you haven't been forgotten, you are being prepared, and there is a spiritual code that unlocks the state of receiving, and it is precisely this code that we will open together today. But before crossing that portal, I need you to do something simple, yet powerful, to activate this frequency. Like this video and comment below. I receive, and subscribe to the channel. This isn't an algorithm. It's energy. It's a declaration. It's you saying to the universe, I am ready. And I tell you, with spiritual authority, when you enter this state, the flow opens, life finds you, and that which was impossible begins to move in your direction. Now, come with me. Let's begin. 10 steps to reorganize your mind and energy to a state of receiving. Phase 1. The truth. You don't want to admit about what you really want. Take a deep breath and listen to me, because what I'm about to tell you can completely change the way you manifest. You say you want prosperity, but what you really want is to stop living in worry. You say you want love, but deep down you want someone who finally sees your soul. You say you want peace, but what you really desire is rest after years of carrying everything alone. Clarity doesn't come from what you say, it comes from what you feel. And today, you will realize that your greatest desire is not external, it's internal. It's a silent request your heart has been making for decades. The first stage of the state of receiving is true clarity. Not logical, rational, superficial clarity, but spiritual clarity, the kind that arises when you remove fear from the equation. Because as long as you desire from pain, you manifest more pain. As long as you desire from lack, you manifest more lack. Where you focus, you go. And if you focus on emptiness, you return to it. But when you finally have the courage to look inside and say, if pain didn't exist, what would I truly choose? The portal opens. You've spent years saying, I want this, but you've never asked yourself, why do I want this? And that's where manifestation gets stuck. Because when desire is born from exhaustion, it doesn't create, it repeats. You repeat patterns, repeat stories, repeat cycles. And maybe that's why you feel like nothing changes. Because you still haven't understood that your true desire is buried beneath layers and layers of emotional survival. Today we're going to unravel this together. True clarity doesn't go hand in hand with haste. It doesn't go hand in hand with confusion. It doesn't go hand in hand with comparison. Clarity is firm, serene, and profound. Clarity is when you look at yourself without fear of what you will find. Clarity is when you stop asking for the life that alleviates your pain and start asking for the life that expands your soul. Now tell me, how many times have you asked for what would heal you and not for what truly called you? How many times have you confused relief with purpose? There is a sacred phrase that you need to remember. A thought thinks itself. This means that what you think about repeatedly creates life, even when you don't realize it, even when you try to ignore it, even when you try to claim otherwise. Therefore, if your deepest desire is tainted by fear, it is fear that will manifest. And that is why clarity is so powerful. It purifies the field. It cleanses the vibration. It returns thought to its original state. And let me tell you something that few people have the courage to say. You're not afraid of failing. You're afraid of finally succeeding and not knowing how to deal with the new version of yourself. Because the new demands identity. It demands posture. It demands vibrancy. It demands abandoning who you were. And that's why clarity hurts, because it separates who you are from who you pretend to be. But that's also why it liberates, because when you see yourself truthfully, you never diminish yourself again. 7. Bombshell revelation. Now listen to this. The reason your life hasn't changed yet isn't because God said no. It's not because the universe forgot about you. It's not because it's not meant for you. Your life hasn't changed yet because you still haven't asked for what you really want. You asked for the scaled-down version of your dream, the version that doesn't scare anyone, the version you think you deserve. But today, for the first time, you're going to declare your true desire. And when that happens, the vortex opens. While your desire has already taken shape, it is in a state of becoming. Phase 2, the frequency reset. What you need to let go of in order to receive. Take a deep breath, because this is the portal that moves you the most, hurts the most, and heals the most. The frequency reset doesn't happen when you decide. It happens when life pushes you to see what you insist on avoiding. That difficult conversation you never wanted to have. That emotional pattern that keeps coming back. That inner silence that screams when you try to run away. None of this is random. It's the universe preparing you, because you can't carry old weight and enter a new vibration at the same time. Every change begins with a cleansing. Frequency reset happens when you realize that certain emotions are hindering your prosperity. It's not magic, it's energy. Tiredness vibrates scarcity. Guilt vibrates blockage. Self-demand vibrates resistance. And every time you approach the next level, life shows you exactly what needs to be let go. Not because you're making mistakes, but because you're growing. And growth always requires removal. Pruning precedes harvesting. You're not being punished. You're being prepared. There are pains you've carried for decades, and that need to be released today. Pains of abandonment, of invisibility, of rejection, of carrying the entire family on your shoulders, of believing you need to be strong all the time. Pains you normalized because no one ever told you there was another way to live. But today I tell you, you are not obligated to carry everything. Your energy field is exhausted from holding on to stories that no longer belong to your vibrational identity. It's time to let go. And letting go doesn't mean forgetting. Letting go means allowing what happened to stop controlling who you are becoming now. Your body holds memories, Silas. Your shoulders hold experiences. Your chest holds expectations. Your mind holds fears that aren't yours. And when you try to manifest without doing this cleansing, it's like trying to build a castle on flooded land. The foundation doesn't hold. That's why nothing progresses. It's not a lack of faith. It's excess weight. Now tell me, how many times have you thought you were a failure when, in reality, you were just going through an energy cleansing? How many times have you judged yourself when, in fact, the universe was just preparing you for something bigger than you imagined? The frequency reset is not punishment. It's care. It's God reorganizing your vibration. It's life taking away from you what would prevent your manifestation from arriving. Don't resist what is leaving. Resist what wants to keep you trapped. There's a vibrational truth that needs to enter your spirit today. You only receive what you have space to receive. If your field is full of fear, full of memories, full of worries, there's no room left for the new to enter. That's why the reset is so profound. It opens up space. It reorganizes vibrations. It clears old layers. It restores your magnetic field. It returns you to your original frequency. When you let go, you float. When you let go, your vibration naturally rises. When you release the cork, it floats. And here is the revelation that changes everything. What is leaving your life now is not loss. It is liberation. Don't call what is actually a beginning an end. Don't call what is actually cleansing pain. Don't call what is actually preparation emptiness. You are not losing anything. You are making space for what is yours. And when the frequency reset ends, the field opens, the flow moves, and what was blocked, finally, begins to approach. Phase 3, reprogramming the root of I can't. The block you don't even know you have. There's a part of you that tries to manifest, and another part that tries to protect you. And it's the second part, the subconscious, that determines everything. You can declare prosperity with your mouth, But if your subconscious vibrates scarcity, scarcity wins. You can ask for love with beautiful words, but if your emotional core says, "I am not worthy," you will push away anyone who tries to love you. The subconscious is not evil. It is faithful. It reproduces exactly what it believes to be your identity. Every thought that has ever been thought still exists, and many of those thoughts still govern his life. The truth is, your conscious mind wants to move forward, but your subconscious mind is afraid of suffering again. It saw you betrayed. It saw you ignored. It saw you support your entire family. It saw you give love to those who didn't know how to care for it. It saw you try and fail. It saw you believe and be disappointed. So, to protect you, it creates invisible blocks that prevent you from moving forward. Not out of malice, but for survival. But surviving isn't living, and you've already spent too much time surviving. Reprogramming the subconscious doesn't mean erasing memories. It means teaching your body, your mind, and your energy that you are now a different person, that now you can, that now you deserve, that now you are not that woman desperate for crumbs, that now you don't need to beg for love, recognition, or prosperity. You can't stop thinking, but you can choose what to think about. And when you consciously choose, you train your vibration to respond in a different way. You create new pathways within your mind. This process is profound because every manifestation is emotional before it is physical. It's no use repeating phrases if you still believe you are small. It's no use visualizing wealth if internally you still see yourself as someone who wasn't born for it. It's no use asking for love if your energy says, "I don't deserve to be chosen." The subconscious is the exact mirror of your vibration. And the more you try to force a manifestation without changing its internal root, the further away it gets. It's not bad luck, it's alignment. There is an extremely powerful spiritual truth. Thoughts become things. You are always creating, even when you don't realize it, even when you don't want to, even when you're tired. Your mind creates by default. Your vibration creates by habit. And if your emotional habits still vibrate with fear, scarcity, abandonment, or unworthiness, that's what your field projects. The universe doesn't give you what you want. It gives you what you believe is possible for you. And you only change what you face. Now listen to me with your heart. There's a version of you that you haven't yet met. A version that doesn't sabotage itself. That doesn't diminish itself. That doesn't blame itself. That doesn't try to please the whole world. A firm, vibrant, aligned, conscious, abundant version. And this version already exists energetically. The inner self never looks back. He's always calling you forward. He's always pushing you toward a higher vibration. He's your future trying to pull you along. And you feel it every day. It's that restlessness you can't explain. The reason your manifestation hasn't arrived yet isn't because it's too big. It's because your self-image is still too small to sustain it. The universe isn't telling you wait. It's telling you expand. Because what you desire isn't far away. It's in your field. It's in your vortex. It's ready. Your desire already has form. It is in the process of becoming. But it only materializes when you become the woman capable of receiving it. And that transformation begins now. Phase 4. Recipient identity. The woman you don't yet know you are. There's a moment in the manifestation process when you stop being someone who asks and become someone who receives. It's a silent, almost sacred shift that happens within your emotional posture. A woman who asks vibrates with lack. A woman who receives vibrates with certainty. One goes around in circles trying to prove herself. The other walks slowly, knowing that life has already paved the way. One begs for crumbs of recognition. The other rises with the dignity of someone who knows what she carries. Identity is not appearance. It's vibration. It's what your energy field says even before you speak. Have you ever noticed that some women enter a room and everything changes? It's not beauty. It's not clothes. It's not status. It's presence. It's alignment. It's the subtle strength of someone who knows who they are. They don't compete. They don't explain themselves. They don't argue. They simply exist with clarity. There is a silent power in a woman who knows her worth. She doesn't force doors. She opens paths with her energy. She doesn't chase. She attracts. Because her energy field speaks before she does. And her energy field says, "I deserve to be here." Receptive identity is about accepting that you don't need to beg for what is already yours. You don't need to convince anyone to love you. You don't need to prove anything to deserve prosperity. You don't need to sacrifice yourself to be seen. Life responds to how you perceive yourself. And if, inside you, there is still a hidden, shrinking, fearful woman, that's the woman reality reflects. But when you position yourself internally as someone who deserves it, the whole world rearranges the pieces around you. Where you focus, you go. When you focus on who you are, you grow. There is a phrase that holds a profound truth. You can't regress from the expansion you've already achieved. This means that every time you elevate your identity, every time you recognize yourself as someone who deserves more, there is no going back. You may even fluctuate emotionally, but your vibration never returns to the old pattern. And that's why this process is so transformative, because it's not about conquering something. It's about becoming someone. You will not manifest a new destiny with the old identity. A receptive identity is built in silence. It is born in the thoughts you nurture when no one is watching, in the small decisions you make daily. In the no, you learn to give. In the I deserve, you learn to uphold. The receptive identity doesn't blame itself. It observes itself. It doesn't diminish itself. It honors itself. It doesn't abandon itself. It chooses itself. It's a spiritual posture. It's a way of being. It's the body, mind, and soul walking in the same direction. And that direction is expansion, not shrinkage. Have you ever noticed that when a woman finally values herself, everything in her life changes? Her work changes. Her relationships change. Her energy changes. Her journey changes. Not because she has become someone different, but because she has returned to being who she always was. When identity flourishes, manifestation accelerates. Because now you are aligned with the version of yourself that already exists in the quantum field. This version vibrates abundance, vibrates peace, vibrates love, vibrates truth. She knows she deserves it, and that's what life gives back. And here is the profound revelation of this phase. You don't receive when the universe decides. You receive when your identity is ready to sustain what you asked for. There is no delay. There is vibrational preparation. You are not waiting for the manifestation. The manifestation is waiting for you to become the woman capable of carrying it. When identity changes, everything changes. And today, as you hear these words, your identity begins to reorganize itself, because you are remembering something that has always been yours, the power to receive. Phase 5, energy. Practices to open the vibrational body to receive. Close your eyes for a moment and place both hands on your chest. Do you feel that warmth? That gentle vibration? That is where your manifestation begins. In the body, not in the mind, not in words, not in expectations. Everything in the universe is energy, and the body is the first altar where this energy organizes itself. Now breathe deeply, as if you were drawing a golden light from above and bringing it into yourself. Hold it and release it slowly. This breath is your first portal. It fine-tunes your vibration. It opens space for the new. It says to your field, I am present. Now I want you to imagine a circle of light around you. Not a distant light. A light that envelops you, embraces you, sustains you. This light represents the vortex, the quantum field where all your desires already exist in energetic form. The moment you enter this light, your body begins to align with what you desire. This light cleanses, recalibrates, reorganizes. It dissolves tensions, fears, blockages, and memories. Feel your breath deepening. Feel your shoulders relaxing. Feel your mind slowing down. When the body relaxes, the vibration rises. Now, visualize a version of yourself, a few steps ahead of you. It is you, but not the you of today. It is the you who has already received it. Look at how she walks. Look at how she breathes. Look at the serenity in her face, her open heart, her light chest, her firm gaze. She doesn't chase after, she attracts. She doesn't doubt, she sustains. She doesn't wait, she positions herself. This is the version that already exists in your energy field. The inner self never looks back. He always calls you over to see that woman. And now you're looking her straight in the eye. Now ask yourself silently, what did you need to let go of to become this version? And observe what comes. Sometimes it's an emotion. Sometimes it's a name. Sometimes it's a belief. Sometimes it's an old fear. Sometimes it's a pattern inherited from the family. Whatever appears is not a mistake. It's a revelation. It's your body showing you exactly what still occupies vibrational space within you. And remember, where you focus, you go. If you focus on fear, you return to it. If you focus on expansion, you move towards it. Now, imagine that future version of yourself reaching out to you. And when you take that hand, a wave of energy flows through your body. It's warm, gentle, strong, deep. This energy says, you are not alone. You never were. This energy reminds you that a thought thinks itself, and if you maintain a thought of faith, a thought of abundance, a thought of dignity, it creates life. It creates a path. It creates form. Thoughts become things. You are always creating, and now you are creating your new vibrational state. Now place both hands over your heart again and declare internally, I open myself to receive. Feel your body respond. Feel the vibration rise. Feel the field expand. You may even feel a warmth, a lightness, a shiver. This is energetic alignment. This is your body recognizing that you are returning to your natural state of abundance. When you release the cork, it floats. And today you're letting go of so many internal blockages that you didn't even know you were holding in. And here is the great revelation of this practice. Receiving is not a mental act. It is a bodily state. You manifest with your body before you manifest with your mind. And every time you enter that vibration of openness, your quantum field responds instantly. Money comes closer. Opportunities come closer. Love comes closer. Healing comes closer. Because the universe doesn't respond to what you want. It responds to what you vibrate. And today, you entered the vibration of receiving. Phase 6. Active trust. The state between what you asked for and what has not yet arrived. The active confidence phase is the most delicate moment in the manifestation process. It's that silent interval where nothing seems to be happening, but everything is moving invisibly. And it's precisely during this period that most women give up. Not because the dream is too big, but because the silence seems too long. Active confidence is not passivity. It's not waiting. It's not stagnation. It's a vibrational posture. It's you saying to the universe, I know it's already coming, even when your eyes can't yet see it. This is the moment when your old fears try to return. It's when the mind says, nothing has changed. Nothing works. I'm alone. This isn't for me. And I need you to listen carefully. These thoughts are not signs of failure. They are residues of old energy being expelled. It's cleansing. It's vibrational adjustment. It's recalibration. Active confidence is the art of not despairing in the interval. It's the courage to remain firm even while the external scenario still seems the same. It's remembering that the inner self never looks back. Active confidence is built through daily choices. It's about waking up and deciding not to feed thoughts that bring you down. It's about observing fear arising and saying, I see you, but I am not you. It's about recognizing old patterns trying to return, and instead of giving in, taking a deep breath and repositioning yourself. You can't stop thinking, but you can choose what to think about. And when you choose the thought that sustains your faith, your vibration remains strong even in the face of uncertainty. This is the moment when small actions gain power. A mindful walk, a longer bath, a prayer said with presence, a thank you before bed, a today I choose myself. In a state of active confidence, what matters is not the strength of the action, it's the consistency of the vibration. Because when you vibrate confidence, the field responds, the universe responds. Life begins to move pieces behind the scenes. It doesn't matter if you don't see it. What matters is that you feel it. And feeling is the beginning of everything. Often active confidence is mistaken for negligence, but it's the exact opposite. It's mindfulness. It's heightened awareness. It's observing deeply and deciding not to let your vibration plummet because of an automatic thought. It's realizing that at times doubt isn't yours. It's merely an echo of who you used to be. Where you focus, you go. And when you focus on doubt, it grows. When you focus on certainty, the path opens up. Now, take a deep breath and ask yourself honestly, am I trusting or am I just waiting? Because waiting is passive. Trusting is creative. Waiting is fear. Trusting is vibration. Waiting puts you in a place of lack. Trusting puts you in a place of power. Active trust transforms you into a woman aligned with what you asked for. And when you are aligned, you magnetize. Not because you force it, but because you vibrate. Thoughts become things. You are always creating. And when you create from trust, you create manifestation. And here comes the profound revelation of this phase. The interval between the request and the response is not a test. It's a training exercise. It is God building within you the necessary structure to support what you have asked for. It is the universe calibrating your vibration so that what comes does not escape you. Active trust does not rush time. It aligns you with the right time, because everything that is yours is on its way. And when you learn to trust in this silence, the silence transforms into movement. Phase 7. Conscious surrender. The moment when the universe begins to work for you. Surrender is not giving up. Surrender is trusting so deeply that you stop fighting the flow of life. Conscious surrender is the moment when you finally release the need for control and allow the universe to rearrange everything around you. Until now, you have tried to manifest while carrying the weight of all responsibilities. You have tried to predict, control, anticipate, manipulate the outcome with your mind. But energy does not respond to force. It responds to openness. When you surrender, you open space for what is greater. Conscious surrender is the most mature phase of manifestation because it demands emotional courage. It demands letting go of the how. It demands releasing the when. It demands trusting in who you are becoming. It's not about closing your eyes and hoping for the best. It's about walking with the presence of someone who knows they are not alone. It's about surrendering, but not abandoning. It's about allowing God to do what only God can do. It's about opening yourself to the divine intelligence of the universe. Surrender happens when you realize you don't need to prove anything to anyone, not even to yourself. When you understand that life doesn't demand perfection, it demands alignment. And alignment is easy. It's gentle. It's natural. When you release inner tensions, your vibration rises. When you stop blaming yourself, the flow opens. When you stop pressuring for results, manifestation draws closer. You can't stop thinking, but you can choose what to think about. And when you think about peace, the body responds with peace. Now, take a deep breath and feel, how many nights have you spent trying to control what was beyond your control? How many times have you tried to predict the future for fear of the past repeating itself? How many times have you created mental scenarios just to protect yourself? And how many of those times did you realize that, even trying to control everything, what was meant to be, was? Conscious surrender is this, understanding that life always knew where to take you, even when you didn't understand. And in this understanding, peace is born. Surrender is not inaction. Surrender is aligned action. It's when you do what you need to do, without carrying the burden of doing everything. It's when you take one step, but allow life to take the others. It's when you plant with faith and harvest with gratitude. It's when you realize that where you focus, you will go, and begin to focus on what expands you, not on what holds you back. Surrender is presence. Surrender is emotional maturity. Surrender is energetic wisdom. Surrender is profound courage. There is a phrase that defines this phase. The inner self never looks back. And that's exactly why surrender is so powerful. Because when you stop looking back, your vibration detaches from fear and aligns with the future that is already yours. When you surrender, you rise energetically. You leave the frequency of lack and enter the frequency of abundance. And it is at this frequency that the universe works for you, not through effort, but through attunement. The reason so many women never manifest what they ask for is because they try to control what has already been energetically decided. There is something much greater working in your favor. And when you try to control the process, you slow down what was already coming your way. What is yours already exists. The vortex has already formed. Your desire already has form. It is in the process of becoming. The only thing missing is for you to let go and allow it. Phase 8. Inspired action. The movement that arises from your state of receiving. Inspired action doesn't stem from haste. It stems from vibration. You don't act to conquer. You act because you're already aligned with the outcome. A woman who acts from lack forces the way. A woman who acts from connection opens the way. Inspired action is gentle, intuitive, clear, and inevitable. It's that inner impulse that says, do this. Call that person. Send that email. Adjust this. It's not anxiety. It's divine guidance. It's not rushing. It's aligned movement. It's the universe guiding you through the details. Inspired action happens when your mind and your vibrational field come into coherence. It's not about doing a lot. It's about doing it with clarity. It's not quantity. It's vibrational quality. Because every action is energy in motion. If you act with fear, you create blockage. If you act with doubt, you create resistance. If you act in haste, you create confusion. But when you act with presence, you create flow. When you act with confidence, you create alignment. When you act with courage, you open doors that have been closed for years. Most women think they don't express their energy because they don't do enough, when in reality they don't express it because they're acting from the wrong place. They're acting from a place of neediness. They're acting from a place of self-imposed pressure. They're acting from a place of insecurity. And that destroys all the positive energy. Where you focus, you go. If you focus on despair, you fall into despair. But when you act from a receptive identity, the energy changes completely. Action becomes a bridge. Action becomes a calling. Action becomes a magnet. You don't chase after it. You pull it towards you. Now take a deep breath and remember how many times you failed to act because you were waiting for the perfect situation. How many times you froze trying to guess the future. How many times you were paralyzed by fear of making a mistake. But let me tell you a spiritual truth. The mistake you fear only exists in the energy of doubt. When you act with alignment, there is no mistake. There is direction. There is refinement. There is movement. The universe doesn't work with perfection. It works with steps. It works with vibration. It works with intention. Inspired action is different from impulsive action. Impulsive action is born from anxiety. Inspired action is born from expansion. Impulsive action exhausts you. Inspired action nourishes you. Impulsive action traps you in a cycle of repetition. Inspired action places you in a cycle of evolution. And that's why you need to start feeling the movement before executing it. Ask yourself, does this action expand me or contract me? If it contracts you, it's fear. If it expands you, it's direction. And direction always comes smoothly, clearly, luminously, like an intuition that requires no effort. Now feel this in your chest. There's something you know you need to do. Something you've been putting off because you didn't feel ready. Something simple, yet powerful. Inspired action always seems small, but it opens immense paths. It's like lighting a candle in a dark room, a simple gesture that completely transforms perception. Thoughts become things. You are always creating. And when you act based on the right thinking, you create paths that didn't even exist before. And here is the profound revelation of this phase. It's not the action that creates the manifestation. It's the vibration you have before you act. Because when action is born from alignment, it becomes prophetic. It becomes a key. It becomes a portal. It becomes confirmation. Inspired action doesn't force destiny. It accelerates what is already yours. And when you start acting like this, the universe responds quickly. You see signs. You feel the flow. And you realize you were never alone. You just needed to hear the right movement. Phase 9. Continuous vibrational elevation. The energy that keeps the manifestation alive. Raising your vibration isn't an isolated event. It's a practice, a decision, a daily spiritual posture. Every manifestation is born from a vibrational peak, but it only materializes when you keep that vibration alive long enough. It's not about feeling good all the time, but about choosing to return to your center whenever you stray from it. Vibrational elevation happens when you decide not to abandon yourself anymore. When you choose to care for your energy field with the same gentleness with which you care for others. Raising your vibration means observing the thoughts you nurture, because a thought thinks itself, and if you feed the same kind of thought for days, weeks, or years, it takes shape, gains strength, gains substance. That's why so many women live in repetitive cycles, not because they are weak, but because they don't realize the thoughts they repeat. And here's the key. You don't need to eliminate bad thoughts. You just need to stop following them. You can't stop thinking, but you can choose what to think about. This is your greatest vibrational weapon. Vibrational elevation stems from genuine self-care, not just aesthetic self-care, but energetic self-care. It's when you choose environments that strengthen you, people who uplift you, conversations that inspire you, silences that restore you. It's when you learn to say no without guilt, when you understand that protecting your energy isn't selfishness, it's a spiritual responsibility. A woman who protects herself vibrates higher, and a woman who vibrates higher manifests with more precision, speed, and clarity. Now take a deep breath and feel in your chest the difference between who you were and who you are becoming. That inner space you feel opening up, that is elevation. That lightness that arises when you release a heavy thought, that is elevation. That calm that comes when you decide to trust, that is elevation. Your vibration doesn't rise by chance. It rises every time you choose the version of yourself that you have already visualized. The inner self never looks back. He only calls you forward, always. And let me tell you something that few people talk about. Every time you raise your vibration, you create an energetic impossibility of returning to what it was before. You cannot regress from the expansion you have already achieved. You may even feel nostalgic for old patterns, but you can't stay in them for long. Your soul rejects them. Your body doesn't accept them. Your energy expels them. This means that every small elevation, every instant of awareness, every second of alignment, transforms you forever. Continuous vibrational elevation puts you in rhythm with manifestation. Because where you focus, you go. And when you focus on abundance, your mind opens. When you focus on peace, your body relaxes. When you focus on faith, your magnetic field expands. And when your field expands, the vortex responds to you. It brings people, ideas, opportunities, coincidences, signs, and paths that you would never have found on your own. Vibrational elevation is you saying to the universe, I am ready for my next version. The reason your manifestation hasn't materialized yet isn't because it doesn't exist. It's because your old energy is still interfering. The manifestation is ready, the field is formed, the vortex is active, but your vibration needs to remain high long enough for what is yours to reach you. Your desire already has form. It is in the process of becoming, and when your vibration stabilizes at the frequency of abundance, nothing can stop what is already yours. Phase 10. The state of receiving, the portal that aligns you with what is already yours. The state of receiving is not mental, it's spiritual. It doesn't arise from effort. It arises from alignment. It's not conquered, it's allowed. It's the sacred moment when your mind, your body, and your energy enter into the same vibration, and everything you've desired begins to naturally approach. Receiving is opening your heart without fear. It's trusting life without reservations. It's walking with the certainty that you are being guided by something greater. It's knowing that the universe doesn't punish you, it prepares you. It's understanding that what you desire isn't coming. It's returning to you. Receiving is the point at which your identity has already changed. Your vibration has already risen. Your blockages have already fallen. Your confidence has already stabilized. And your body has already opened. It's when you no longer ask for manifestation. You become the manifestation. It's when you no longer beg for the miracle. You embody the miracle. The state of receiving is a consciousness. The consciousness that whatever you vibrate, you create. Thoughts become things. You are always creating. And now you are creating the life you always wanted to live. The state of receiving happens when you abandon the old story. The story of scarcity. The story of abandonment. The story of invisibility. The story of unworthiness. And you embrace the true story. You have always been worthy. You have always been capable. You have always been enough. The universe never denied you anything. You just weren't vibrating at the frequency where those things existed. But now you are. Now you understand. Now you feel. And what you feel, the universe mirrors. It responds to your vibration, not your words. In a state of receiving, anxiety loses its power. Because you realize there is nothing to fear when you are aligned with your inner self. The inner self never looks back. He always pushes you forward, always guides you towards abundance, always calls you to the next level. And when you stop fighting that call, your vibration naturally rises. When you release the cork, it floats. And today, you are floating for the first time in a long time. Receiving is surrender, but it's also courage. It's abandoning your emotional comfort zone. It's allowing yourself to be seen. It's allowing yourself to be chosen. It's allowing yourself to prosper. It's allowing yourself to be happy. Many women say they want abundance, but are afraid to carry it. They say they want love, but are afraid to experience it. They say they want peace, but are afraid of silence. The state of receiving cleanses these fears because it shows you were never small. You were just trained to shrink. Now take a deep breath and notice how your body reacts to the words you've heard so far. There's a warmth. There's an expansion. There's a feeling of, this is it. This is your energy field realigning. This is you entering a state of receiving. You cannot regress from the expansion you have already achieved, and something within you has expanded too much to return to the woman you once were. The door that opened inside you will never close again. And here is the vibrational conclusion of this phase. Everything you desire already exists. It's already alive. It's already formed. It's already in the vortex. Your desire already has form. It's in a state of becoming. And now, for the first time in a long time, you are no longer asking. You are ready to receive. You have become the woman your future needed you to be. And that is why manifestation is no longer a possibility. It is a consequence. What is yours is coming, not because you asked for it, but because now you vibrate like someone who deserves it. The portal has been opened. You are now in the receiving state. Take a deep breath, because you are no longer the same woman who pressed play on this video. Something within you has reorganized itself. Something has unlocked. Something has realigned. You have gone through the 10 phases not just as knowledge, but as a vibrational transformation. You have opened up space within yourself. You have released old burdens. You have allowed new energy to enter. And now, you are different. You are lighter, more aware, more present, more ready. During this video, you didn't just hear words. You shifted your frequency. You cleared away layers that had held you back for years. You understood, perhaps for the first time, that you don't describe your reality. You declare it. And that creates it. You realize that the phrase hidden inside you, I can't, was the biggest vibrational sabotage of your life. And today, after everything you've been through, you know, if you can't speak faith, it's better to remain silent until you can. You've walked through all the phases. You've understood your patterns. You've reprogrammed your energy. You've raised your vibration. You've opened your heart. Calibrating yourself to the state of receiving isn't a miracle. It's a process. And you've just completed that process with courage, awareness, and surrender. And now, finally, you can feel it. What once seemed distant is now near. What once seemed impossible is now natural. What once seemed like a dream is now in motion. And I tell you, looking at you with all the spiritual authority of this work, you are not only ready to receive, you are already receiving it. The mere fact that you've made it this far shows that your energy has shifted. It shows that your future is calling you. It shows that God, the universe, the source, whatever name you want to give it, has already begun to move you toward the place where you've always belonged. Pruning precedes harvesting. And Silas, you've already entered the harvest. If this video touched your heart, and I know it did, then honor that energy. Honor this moment. Honor what you felt. Like it now. Comment now. Write, I am ready to receive. And more than that, subscribe to the channel, because here, every day, you will find what your soul seeks. Here, you will find clarity, direction, healing, vibrational transformation, content that not only speaks to you, but speaks for the part of you that already knows which path to take. And before I finish, let me remind you of something I said at the beginning. What is yours is not distant. It is not trapped. It is not delayed. It is simply waiting for the exact moment when you would become the woman capable of receiving it, and you have become it. Now, the field is open. The vibration is active. The portal is illuminated. Your future has already begun. Thank you for being here. Thank you for feeling it through to the end. And remember, you haven't been forgotten. You are being prepared.